Courtney with Redfin.
And I'm Joe with Redfin.
And we're here today to tackle your questions about real estate. So, Joe, I'm super excited to kick off this series. Our first question is, what should I do before buying a house? What's your answer?
I always think about this in terms of like, what would I tell my family member, like my grandma, about like if she asked me the same question? And I think that the first thing is hiring the right team, right? So it's about hiring the right agent, the right team. And how do you do that? Well, my assumption is that you're starting the search online because you have notifications. Maybe you're just looking at homes online and looking at pictures of them. You're starting to narrow things down a little bit. Well, you can go tour that home, one of those homes, and meet the agent there. Or you can look at different profiles. Of course, it's the internet age. You can read profiles and reviews and see experience levels and really just get a feel for that agent's expertise and maybe where they work. And hire one of those agents, or maybe just try to schedule a cup of coffee to what we call at Redfin a buyer consultation, which is really like the best way to start off a relationship with an agent is just by hanging out with them and asking them the questions yourself.
Absolutely. I definitely think that's like the best first step. I will also say my mind goes when I see this question to financing. One of the things that I've seen and actually have experienced long ago when I bought my first house is financing can be a little bit of, it could cause a little bit of fear.
Yeah.
Because it's like, first of all, you got to find the right lender. Okay. But secondly, I think internally, a lot of folks are like, oh no, there's no way I would qualify, or no, I don't have perfect credit, or no, I don't have $1 bazillion saved in my account. But I always like to take the fear out of it. And I like to say, let's just ask the lender. They'll run the credit. They'll look at your income. They'll look at all of these facets that are required to be eligible to qualify for a mortgage. And they let them tell you what is needed, because I don't know, I've seen a lot of folks count themselves out of the game before it even starts. But then they talk to the lender and they realize, oh, I'm a lot closer than I thought I was.
I know exactly what you mean. There's that feeling where like this is becoming a real thing. Like I'm on the path now. And you're right. There's so much noise out there too, just about interest rates. And then you see what rental rates are. And sometimes it's higher than buying. Sometimes it's lower than buying. And so, just like starting to reach out and get some answers to those questions is a great first step.
Exactly. And so you may be closer than you think, or you may have a little bit of work to do in order to qualify for a mortgage, but at least so then you and your agent can come up with a game plan, even if that's 2 months from now, a year from now, but you know where you're starting. Can I give you a quick story, Joe?
Of course, yeah.
The very first home that I purchased was a HUD home, and guess how much it was?
I don't know, but that's also my first purchase too.
Was it?
So, yeah. Okay, you go first.
Yeah. So it was a foreclosed property. It had been sitting on the market for a little while. This was just a little bit after 2008. It was $68,000. Now, this time, I wasn't in real estate just yet. Okay. My dad was, though. And so I was terrified. I was a teacher at the time. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, 68,000. This is going to be a lot. Am I going to even qualify? Talk to the lender, secured my agent. In my case, it was my dad. Hey, Dad.
And I remember working with customers at the beginning where you see a sort of a ticket price of $300,000, $400,000, or $500,000, and you're like, well, I don't have that money. And it's like, sometimes we get so inside baseball where like, the step of reaching out to a lender to understand what your options are, it really eliminates some of that, scary feeling.
But going back to your point, your agent is going to be able to walk with you and guide you to show you what all of your options were. And that's what happened. I bought the house. It was a awesome purchase. And once I got over that initial fear, I was like, okay, great. This isn't bad. I've got a team that are helping me to my goal. And that's really what my advice would be to somebody that's actually looking to buy right now.
Yeah, let's bridge those two answers, right? Where like when we talk about hiring the best team, I think it's especially now, sort of bonus points when there is a relationship there. Depending on what the relationship is, you need to be comfortable with hiring both the agent and the lender
Yeah.
separately. But if they are communicating together, I think
Yes.
and just like from both your and my experience of being brokers and agents for so long,
Yeah.
in the relationships that we've had with lenders, that can make things quite a bit easier if those lines of communication are open and they're used to working together. Because now you're all sort of, like you said, it's hiring a team.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know in the comments what questions you'd like us to answer in future episodes.